All right, coming to you a few hours after Rutgers defeats Minnesota in overtime, 75-67. Pretty terrible second half, blowing an 11-point lead at one point in the game. Rutgers shooting miserably in that second half, 33%, 10 of 30 from the floor, 0 of 7 from three. Couldn't get to the foul line, just 5 second half free throw attempts. Minnesota was living at the line. Thankfully, they did not shoot very well from the line. This game was extremely frustrating, but to their credit, they came through in the end. Dylan Harper getting downhill, taking over that game in overtime. Rutgers dominated. Ace hitting a big bucket in a game that he struggled once again. And Rutgers coming through with a 8-point overtime victory, now 2-0. Winners of 3 of their last 5, 2 of which were in overtime at Washington and now Minnesota. All that being said, they finished 15-16 in the regular season. They finished 8-12 in the Big Ten. They do win the tiebreaker because they won the game. Did not get in a 7-team tiebreaker. They were the only 8-12 team in the Big Ten and finished 11th place. Will play USC around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday night in Indianapolis in the opening round. The late game, they're in the bracket with the 6th seed Purdue. They'll play the winner. If they beat USC, they'll play Purdue the next night on Thursday. If they win that game, they'll play the 3 seed Michigan. So not a good draw at all. But, it's funny how the last 5 games, they've won 3 of 5. They beat 3 bottom half teams in USC, Washington, and Minnesota. They lose the heartbreaker at Michigan. They get boat raced at Purdue. And now all that's kind of coming back where they're going to play USC. And then if they win Purdue and Michigan in a row, if they're going to make a run, obviously Ace and Dylan have to get on fire. Dylan cannot be as unengaged as he has been lately in the beginning of games. In this game, no exception. First 10 minutes, just did not look into it at all. Thankfully, he woke up. He got engaged. He took over this game, finished with 22 points. Was just 8 of 19 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3, 5 of 8 from the line. Did have 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals in 39 minutes, plus 15 team high. Ace struggled mightily from the floor, 3 of 11 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3. Did not get to the foul line. Did rebound and defend. 9 rebounds for him. Was in foul trouble with 4. Had 3 blocks. Listen, the thing I love about Ace is he has given effort throughout this whole stretch of struggling. We'll get into that. I'll do a preview before the Big Ten tournament. But he has rebounded well for the most part. Dylan Grant was fantastic in this game. 12 points, 5 of 5 from the floor, hit a 3, 6 boards. Did have 3 fouls, a block and a steal. Defended really hard. Zach Martini did an admirable job defending Dawson Garcia, who might be a first team, if not second team, all Big Ten selection. And was able to neutralize him for the most part. Did give up the tying basket at the end of regulation. Hit a 3 with 6 points. But I thought he played 31 minutes because he defended Dawson Garcia, and I thought he did a pretty decent job holding him to his averages. Certainly, I think there was concern Dawson Garcia would light Rutgers up, and that would be the difference. Did not happen, in part because of Zach Martini. Durkat gave him 8 points and 4 boards off the bench. Had not given him a lot lately. Credit to him, 22 minutes. Peichel rode the hot hand with him. Peichel did, I thought, did not coach his best game, struggled with that rotation. Once again, rode the second team too long in that second half. That allowed Minnesota to get a 10-0 run and back in the game. But at the end of the day, Dylan took over. Dylan Grant gave them a lot in this game. Durkat off the bench a little bit. And obviously Ace Bailey on the boards. Somerville, 8 points, 4-4 from the line. Rutgers was just 15 of 23 from the line, but they were much better in that overtime session. They were 4 of 6 from the line, 5 of 6 from the floor, which was key. Dylan was 2 of 2, Ace 1 of 2. Durkat hit a shot. Somerville hit a shot. So as a team, they came together when it counted most. That being said, this team does not inspire me to think that they're going to make some magical run here in the Big Ten tournament. There's a chance they could get invited to the Crown. People keep, not understanding that NIT is really off the table. It's changed now. The Crown is a Fox tournament for Big 12, Big 10, and Big East. There's no real criteria other than the top 2 at-large teams remaining in the Big Ten will get an automatic bid. as will Big East and Big 12. Will Rutgers ultimately get invited, even if they have a losing record? It's possible. Will Dylan and Ace play? I don't know. It's not going to happen until the end of March. It's all moot because at the end of the day, this is not what we want to be talking about. I went off, I guess, was a little bit buzzworthy this week after the loss to Purdue. A lot of people reaching out to me, a lot of comments. Appreciate it. And what I want to talk about the offseason and what Steve Peichel and this program needs to do very soon. I'm not going to go into that today, other than this team has one last chance to make a magical run. If they're ever going to put together a run, if they're going to win at least 3 games in a row in Big Ten play, which they've not done all season, it's now or never time. And you have USC on Wednesday night. You have then Purdue, who just has, destroyed you twice, and then Michigan, 2-1 possession losses. Can they get to the Big Ten quarterfinals and give Michigan a run? We'll see. We'll see. But Dylan and Ace have to be on their A game. Ace certainly is due on the offensive end. Dylan, is he engaged enough? I think it's fair to question the way he's played the last few games, especially on the defensive end, has really been pretty bad. But again, to his credit, they don't win that game today, if not for his ability to take over the game. His body control at the rim is just bar none. I think it's a big reason why he is in that top 2, top 3 mix in the NBA draft, because I don't think anyone's as NBA ready as him in the draft. That includes Cooper Flagg, because Dylan Harper is a walking bucket when he is healthy and when he's engaged. And we'll see what happens. But, they did get enough complimentary performances in this game. Overall, this team has been a major disappointment, 15-16. There's no other way to say it. And we'll get into that. But here they are, 11th place, blue ribbon. Eat your heart out. You picked them 15th. I'm joking. They obviously were more right than most people. Did not envision them even having a chance of finishing 15th on the last day of the regular season. But here we are. But they were able to defeat Minnesota. Thankfully, they didn't draw Minnesota. There was a chance they would. But they get a USC team that can score, that is really efficient, that can shoot the 3. Rutgers is certainly vulnerable in this game and could lose out that first game. And that would certainly be a disappointment. If you get to the Big Ten quarterfinals, you have to win 3 games in the Big Ten tournament to clinch a winning season, right? That's not a good predicament to be in, but that's where Rutgers is. And like I said, broken record. If this team's going to make a run, it's now or never. I'm going to have a preview episode for sure Tuesday at some point before the Big Ten tournament, and just kind of break things down more, talk more about this team, talk about what has to happen. But, in terms of getting 5 to 6 guys playing really well at the same time, it's not just, yes, Ace and Dylan can carry them, but it's not enough. It's not enough in the Big Ten. If you're going to take down Purdue and Michigan, you need a bunch of guys to step up. So do I have confidence that's going to happen? Unfortunately, no, but there is a chance. So we'll see, but it's good that Rutgers wins their last game at the rack. Ace and Dylan walking off the court of the rack for the last time as winners in the game. It was overtime. It was an ugly game. Rutgers, their last 3 wins over pretty bad teams. And, USC, they scored a ton of points. Washington, they barely won. Minnesota, they barely won. The Michigan game, they certainly should have won. So you could argue, this team could be winners of 4 of the last 5, and we'd be maybe thinking a lot different. If they did beat Michigan, they would have a winning record, but did not happen. So more what ifs this season, coulda, woulda, shouldas. But here we go. Postseason Big Ten tournament. Can Rutgers make some noise and give fans some last joy here in March, when we all thought this was just the beginning of what March would be like? It is what it is. Plenty more time to get into it. And apologize for the backdrop. A little bit of makeshift today with my kids, still on the run on this daylight savings Sunday. Thanks so much for listening and watching once again here at the Scarlet Faithful podcast.